Hey, it's Reg E. I'm back in the Heisenberg RV. I've got another 5 minute or less movie review, and this week I'm going to talk to you about La La Land, which I saw today. And I'm running some errands. Thought, why not see a movie? Why not see an Oscar contender? Very well regarded movie from Lionsgate Studios, starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. It's about a pair of star-crossed lovers. Aren't they all about a pair of star-crossed lovers? But in this case, they're in Los Angeles in the present day, and they first meet each other on a freeway during a dazzling sequence that's set on in the middle of a Los Angeles traffic jam where everyone starts singing and jumping out of their cars and dancing, and it's really very well staged. It looks almost like it's one shot, although there's a couple of hidden edits in there, and it's actually the most spectacular number in the entire movie because guess what? It's a musical. Yeah, we don't see many of those these days. It's not a like a kind of, how do you want to call it, like meta musical or some kind of postmodern musical. It's a throwback and a tribute to the great movie musicals of the 1940s and 50s, the ones that had Gene Kelly or the late Debbie Reynolds, or of course Frank Sinatra, Ginger Rogers. This one's not quite that spectacular in terms of its intent, but it does have some great tunes, and it is a musical in the sense that it doesn't try to posit that as like this is like the imaginations of the characters or this is like a dream sequence. No, this is actually when the characters just kind of stop and break into song and dance at a moment's notice, and it's very well done. Gosling and Emma Stone are very charming together. I think Emma Stone is kind of the real star of the movie. I like Gosling. It's kind of the same thing with him all the time, though. I feel like he always gives you a competent, believable, sturdy performance, but it never seems to stray too far from a certain persona. And this works for him in this movie because he's sort of a sarcastic, somewhat old-fashioned in some ways, jazz pianist who's struggling to make it. And he meets and starts to fall in love with Emma Stone's character. Emma Stone also is a dreamer. She's a struggling actress. Some of the best sequences in the movie involve her going to different auditions, and you get to see what actresses deal with when they go on those auditions. It's pretty brutal, pretty soul-sucking. You got to be pretty tough to go through those and put up with rejection after rejection. And so this means that the movie reveals what it's really about. It's not just a bunch of songs set in L.A. It's a story about dreamers and what happens when dreamers meet, and how do they try to make their dreams come true in a city that's famous for making dreams come true and also dashing dreams. And I think it's a very charming movie. I have to admit that when I go into a musical, I'm just predisposed to try and pick them apart and not like them. It's not my favorite genre. I haven't seen probably nearly as many movie musicals as I need to over the years because of that. But this one is pretty good. It's from director Damien Chazelle, who also co-wrote it. He's famous for Whiplash, and J.K. Simmons has a very small part in this as well, not nearly as memorable as the one that he played in Whiplash. But this is a well-constructed movie. It takes place over the course of 1 year in the City of Angels. It involves our heroes meeting, of course, protesting a little bit too much as they try to keep each other at arm's length and falling in love. I won't spoil the end. It's not like there's going to be a big spoiler. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get when you see a movie musical. But I will say that to Chazelle's credit, he doesn't just layer on the sugary sentiment and go all in on a straightforward happy ending. He provides a little bit more of a modern twist on it, and the ending is quite bittersweet, and in a lot of ways it's the strongest part of the film. I will say, as much as I like the music, and it's composed for the movie, and it's very well done, they're kind of jazzy numbers. Some of them are also more like homage type musical numbers that making you think about the movie musicals of the past. There are only a couple of songs that I kind of really remembered after the movie was actually over. So in that way, I wouldn't say that it's not like a Broadway musical or when you go see Hamilton or Book of Mormon or something like that, and you got those songs dancing around in your head for weeks. But Gosling and Stone do a great job. They're not natural singers and dancers, even though Gosling was in the new Mickey Mouse Fun Club back in the 90s with luminaries like Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and Kerry Russell and like. It's a great cast. They've all done very well, and he certainly did his singing and dancing there. But you can tell they're not like professional singers, but they do a great job. It actually makes it more believable and more touching in that way. And I think La La Land works as a pretty good movie. I would give it an A minus. Maybe an A for Audacity, for sure, for doing that kind of movie in this day and age. But be forewarned, it's not maybe as comic as the commercials would lead you to believe. And even though there are some nice, funny moments there, and like I said, even though it's extremely well done, it's not like you're going to be tapping your feet to these songs when you leave the theater. But I recommend La La Land. It's definitely a top Oscar contender. It'll probably get a lot of Oscar nominations if you care about that kind of thing, and it's worth a look. So this is me, Reggie, in the Heisenberg RV. I haven't done a lot of these videos. I apologize for that. I'm kind of building towards like higher production values and higher tech in the future, and then I'll promise to do a lot more of them. But thanks for sticking with me through the low tech, lo-fi days, and I'll try and scoot a few more of these out in coming weeks. I will share my top 5 movies and maybe some TV reviews before January is out. Till then, Reggie Scott. Enjoy the movies. Peace out.